name is Krystal. If this is your first time here, hi, welcome. If you have been here before, then welcome back. If you have been here before, you know that I stopped recording for a good time. I gave myself a break from social media. I haven't been on Instagram, TikTok. My main social media platforms that I had, I couldn't think of the word, the main platforms that I had. So I just wanted to make this as an introduction, kind of like welcome back to social media, Krystal. I am coming back. If you can see, I did change my name from your Leo bestie just to me, Krystal Vegaa. Story about all that later to come, and just certain things that helped me heal myself and see certain cycles that I was putting in for myself as far as behaviors and certain topics, I guess you can say. But I have my little sheet so I could give myself some leeway to keep the conversation going. So I felt when I took my YouTube break, I felt like I was very lost. Like before I took my break, I was a little lost in the social media world. I wasn't sure what exactly it was that I needed to say. I wasn't sure exactly what it was that I needed to do. I felt like I kept trying and I kept trying and it just all wasn't working out. And because it wasn't working out, it almost put this self-doubt in myself of okay, then maybe this is not what I'm meant to be doing. Not only that, put a big self-doubt in myself, but there was another issue that I had mentally and that I had in my just a trauma that I had, and I wasn't sure how to handle it. And the way I handled it and the way that I processed it in my mind and in my body, I almost handled it in a way of just pushing it to a side and thinking oh, okay, everything's gonna be okay, everything's gonna be normal. But that's not how the way your nervous system and how the way your mind and how the way it all works. Subconsciously, I was just creating this self-doubt within me, and that self-doubt created a whole ripple effect in my life. And the way I got there, I will explain to you guys. And then how the way I got out and the way I am getting out of that, I should say. It's wild to see how my subconscious, seeing how I created this for myself. It was I think when you are in this healing process, it's very easy to blame someone else for your action or try to put the blame out there. And so getting to this place where I was oh wow, I really created that for myself, with my thought process, with the things that I used to have to process in my mind. My mind is getting out of trauma, and putting myself in that place of self-doubt just kind of added to it. I kept trying different things, I kept going on YouTube and I was oh, maybe I should do I used to host a book club online, and I was maybe I should bring the book club to the podcast. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should combine my YouTube and the podcast, because I have a podcast with my cousin Diana. And so I was maybe I should do that, or maybe I should because we had put a break on that too, so it was maybe I should combine them for right now, just use the space. Maybe I should do your bestie this, your Leo bestie, so much. I felt I just kept trying and trying, pulling here, pulling there, and I didn't see that any of it would pull back. It was a what I want to do, right? And so when I started getting that, and when I started getting that feeling, I just kind of was maybe I just need to step back. Maybe this isn't for me. At that point, I put myself into that low phase, that self-doubt. I just kind of followed that self-doubt, right? And previous to that, I had already put another big self-doubt in my mind that I didn't know consciously that me doing that was causing a self-doubt. I'll explain that as we go, or as I keep explaining this process, or this what do I want to call it, this self-doubt that I got into. I just unconsciously planted a seed of self-doubt, and really getting myself out of there and learning. I guess Diana has said it before in one of our podcasts. She said, like, you have to go through the trenches, and I literally feel like I had to go through the trenches of that self-doubt so I could continue on the other side and see that reality of the self-doubt, how I had cast that upon myself. Like, I really sat there and I was like, I can't blame this on in my inner child. Like, I can't blame it on this. I can't blame it on that. Like, what do you blame it on when you can't blame it on anybody? It's like you put the blame on yourself, but then that blame creates shame. And then that shame just creates like another story. Like, it's just like so much goes on with just one decision of just a trigger. Just like a trigger happens, and your reaction and what reaction you give the trigger is what creates the response in your body. And so me unconsciously creating all that self-doubt, creating all that shame, like I was just staying in this vibration, in this energy field of, I guess, more, how should I say it, of lower emotions. I was staying in this feeling of lower emotions because of how comfortable it was. It was very uncomfortable, but here's the thing. We make that uncomfortable, that we grow up with, the trauma bonding, all the things, that is familiar, so it's going to be comforting because that's all you know, right? But when you step out and you do the healing work and you start like taking care of yourself, you start exercising, you start doing all these right things, but you get this sense of like you still are doing something wrong. Like you're healing and you're doing all of this, but something about it, you just still feel like I'm not doing anything right. And that's where I was at. Like, I got to the point where it's like I was doing all this healing, I was doing all these things, but I had this self-doubt in myself, but I didn't know what it was. Little to find out that later on, I was creating that self-doubt within myself. It is mind-blowing. I want to share that experience with you guys of really diving into why me subconsciously created that for myself, in the hopes to like share this about me, to see what it is that maybe you're holding yourself back on, that you cannot see, because it's hard to just be like, wow, no, I really didn't create that. Even certain, I don't know, it comes down to so much, but I'm excited to share that process with you guys of how that actually put myself into that self-doubt, and how I worked and how I am working to get out of that self-doubt. In that self-doubt, I found, again, story later on, but I found that me creating this YouTube channel originally under Your Leo Bestie, I found that I was just really using that name and that image as a distraction, like just to still hide Krystal and to still hide myself. And so I really saw that as like, well, it's okay, Krystal, like you don't have to be scared, you don't have to put that mechanism up for you to still feel that safety. And so getting to the process of like getting out of that, really allowing myself to be like, okay, I can be Krystal, I can be Krystal that shows up and post these YouTube channels, because at the end of the day, this persona, like this, like me, just Krystal, is the one that's doing the editing, is the one that doing the planning, the one that doing like all these things, and I'm giving credit to a character that I created because I wanted that as a safety tool for myself. So even find like that level of self-doubt, just, it gets you. And I want you to know, if you are someone that really, like, you want to do things and you want to go out and you want to try different, just, you just want something different, you just want to try something different, but you can't seem to do it. Like, you keep saying like, I'm busy, or like just an excuse. You right away, when someone asks you to do something, you just right away it's like, oh no, I can't because of this, or whatever it is that you put there, that excuse, you'll find that it's all just a mask to protect yourself, because your brain is just so used to comfort. It's used to that trauma bonding. It's used to that, all that trauma. It's used to it. Like, that's what you're familiar with. That's what you've grown up with. That's what all you've known. And so when you try to even step out of that, or when you try to even like move forward, it's going to be really hard, and it's going to take some time. And that really was shown to me with this whole path that I was taking. Now I'm back. I don't know what it's all gonna look like. I'm not even gonna say what it's gonna look like. I'm not gonna stress myself about how it's gonna look like. I'm just going to come sit in my lovely little chair in my space that I'm holding for this channel, and just trust my voice. Trust my voice, and trust that what I'm saying and what I'm teaching you and what I'm putting out there is meant for a reason. So that's gonna be all. I think that little introduction was perfect. I don't want to make it too long. Again, my name is Krystal Vegaa. Welcome to this channel. I hope that if you are here, you're already subscribed. Since you're already here, I hope that you do me that favor. And that's gonna be all. Final thing, just I went to my first protest today. It was heartwarming. It was real. It was, I don't know, it was I don't even know how to explain it, because it was different. It was a different experience to see people just coming together, like just a collective, feeling all the different collective energies, like the anger, the sadness. Like, you could just feel so much out there, and it just feels like so real just being there. Like, I'm gonna share some pictures. I went with some friends, some coworkers, and we went out there just to support the cause. I just want to say that I want to do I don't want to get into like any of that, like politics or anything. That all I'm gonna say is just a prayer to anybody out there protesting, anybody out there that is not afraid to use their voice right now. You definitely are showing us a way. Keep going. It was just very inspirational. Maybe that's why I came and just pressed record and was like, okay, it's gonna be how it's gonna be, because it was so eye-opening. It was so cool to see people screaming and using their voice, and it was like very, very heartwarming. But prayers to everybody out there. Please be safe. If you're gonna protest for any reason or join any protest, just be safe. Prayers to you. Last things last, remember, every single day is a new opportunity to grow. I thank you for coming back. Thank you for your support, and see you guys in the next. Bye, friends.